In part two of why we potentially could see a housing crash in Utah, there are some things going on in the economy that can definitely set off a domino effect and impact the housing market. Also, there is a resemblance with the refinance boom that took place during the pandemic and the one that took place prior to the 07-08 housing crash. Quick recap from the previous video. We saw that interest rates skyrocketed at the beginning of 2022, catching everybody off guard. And the average buyer has lost about 30 to 40% of their purchasing power because of the increase in interest rates. Canada has started their housing correction, and they are anticipating the values will drop by about 15% sometime in the year 2023. And new construction is skyrocketing in their completion, and it has potential to actually flood the housing market. And Utah definitely has its share of new construction that's being built. Also, majority of the United States housing market is considered overvalued, and Utah is definitely at the tip of that. And the Wasatch Front is definitely towards the top, with being one of the most overvalued areas when it comes to average income being able to support the average home price. My name's Dinko. I'm a licensed real estate agent and a licensed mortgage broker in the state of Utah. If you need to get a hold of me, give me a call, send me a text anytime. My contact information will be down below. If you haven't watched the previous video, definitely take a look as we took a deep dive in the shifting market that we're in currently and why we potentially could see a correction in home values. I want to show what's going on currently with mortgage applications as they actually hit a 22-year low. And right now, according to the Mortgage Bankers Association, mortgage applications for home purchases dropped 7% from the previous week and are now 21% lower than a year ago. That 22-year low is also influenced a lot by the 75% decrease in refinances. And why the heck would anybody want to refinance right now if they don't have to with the way interest rates are? But the fact that mortgage applications for purchases are dropping week by week and have declined 21% from the previous year as inventory is going up, that's definitely something to keep an eye out on. Now, I said I was going to show the refinance boom. And the refinance boom and financial crisis, rising home prices, falling mortgage rates, and mortgage efficient refinancing lured masses of homeowners to refinance their homes and extract equity at the same time, increasing systemic risk in the financial system. This was actually released by the National Bureau of Economic Research after the 07-08 crisis. And we definitely saw the pandemic refinance boom of 2020 and 2021. So if we take a look here at the 2020 posted by Inman, we see that in 2020 there was $185 billion of equity pulled through cash out refinances in 2020, and in 2021 borrowers pulled out $275 billion of equity. So the question we have to ask is, what if home values do in fact drop? How many people are going to want to sell or need to sell and not be able to? And if they need to sell and home values have dropped and they pulled equity out or they've recently purchased as home prices have skyrocketed, are we going to see short sales or foreclosures hitting the market? So right now we definitely don't have any of that. It's not like the stock market, things don't flip overnight. So we're definitely not in that market or anywhere close to it. However, as we're approaching the end of 2022, that is definitely something to keep an eye out on. Do me a favor, hit that like button, leave a comment, help me with the YouTube algorithm if you like this video. And also, what's going on with the world economy? There's a lot of talks about a world recession, and if 07-08 housing crisis in America could cause a global recession, if we have countries all around the world that can't sustain this inflation, the supply chain issues, their economy is not going to be resilient like ours here in the United States. So what happens when these countries, if they do go into deep recessions? That definitely will impact us here. How much it's going to impact us is definitely the big unknown. And as we see here, America, of course, we're the world's biggest importer, but we're also one of the biggest exporters of goods and services. We export 44% of our goods and services to the Americas, 31% to Asia, and 22% to Europe. Now, if these countries that we're exporting our goods and services to, if they're not able to buy the goods and services from us, and their economies are doing really bad, that's definitely going to have an impact on our economy on our housing market. So we definitely have to pay attention to what's going on with the world economy as these things unravel going forward. We have hiring freezes and layoffs that have hit the retail industry, the banking industry, and the tech industry. And we know in Utah there's a silicone slope. So we know that the tech industry is a pretty big industry for our economy. And if people start losing those jobs, they start getting laid off, or they had a remote job, they moved to Utah and they can't find another job to replace that income, are we going to see some short sales coming onto the market where banks are now willing to take a loss? Are people going to get foreclosed on? We also see that the credit card debt is starting to surpass the debt that we saw in 07, 08 because of inflation, and the utility bills are starting to skyrocket where we're seeing people throughout America that are having a difficulty paying those bills more than ever before. So as this stuff starts snowballing, are we going to be able to show that resilience that we showed after the lockdowns ended and just pick right back up and blow through, which I hope we can? Or are we going to see something like 07, 08? Now, I don't think we can get that bad, at least I hope not. But as this stuff starts snowballing and the economy starts kind of changing and we see these layoffs and these hiring freezes, it's definitely going to be something we have to pay attention to. Hit the subscribe button because I will release monthly videos of updates on the market. That way you can kind of take the information and help yourself navigate through these crazy times. Hit the like button, leave me a comment as well there. And thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day.